tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.
Welcome back, guys, to another EBN cast. Happy Friday afternoon, TGIF. It is Friday. Hope everybody's having a good day. Mexican Ironman, John F. Trent, and our brother Stone Cold Loki himself. How you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yep. So real quick, everybody in the chat, there's 4 ways you guys can support us here on the stream. EBN memberships, Patreon, where we upload tons of stuff that we can't put here on YouTube. X-Men 97 reviews are going to be dropping on there starting this next week. Our brand new merch store that coaches got up and running, which is way better than Teesprings. And of course, your super chats. If there's a topic or something you guys want to comment on or hear us talk about that we're not hitting on,
you're welcome.
A part of the conversation. Oh no. Coach is in the background, but he's at school.
No, I'm
not. But anyways, guys, we are gonna kick this show off today with our very first topic. We're gonna get right in this because we got a lot to cover. We don't have a special guest this week because I'm actually out of town. I've not had time to line anybody up, and that's also why I'm not on camera. And probably one of the reasons why my mic probably doesn't sound as good as normal because I'm on a cheap, crappy headset. So with that said, I wanted to hit on this, and I'm definitely interested in getting John's comment on this since he is a writer himself. But latest news is the Kotaku editor-in-chief exits due to parent company's new guide directive. Let me scroll down here. So Jen Glennon resigns after 5 months into a role while the publication deprioritizes news. Kotaku editor-in-chief Jen Glennon has exited her role reportedly due to a new editorial direction from G&O Media. According to Aftermath, per Glennon's letter of resignation, the parent company's G&O Media mandated that the game publication focus on game guides and deprioritize news, which mainly consists of woke news and trashing on gamers. And this is a gaming site. In the letter, she says, I firmly believe that the decision to invert Kotaku's editorial strategy to deprioritize news in favor of guides is fundamentally misguided given the current infrastructure of the site, Glennon said in the letter. Directly contradicts my monthly traffic data and shows an astonishing disregard for the livelihoods of the remaining writers and editors who work here. According to a source familiar with the matter, Kotaku staffers are expected to create 50 guides in a total week. And that's not with all of them combined, that's each editor needs to do 50 gaming guides a week. Aftermath notes that the site's landing page area, a space typically home for major stories and breaking news, has been replaced by tips and guides. Glennon was hired back in October of 2023, so not that long ago. And with her exit, Kotaku lost another editor-in-chief in under a year. And before her was Patricia Hernandez. So real quick, my thoughts on this real quick is gaming guides definitely are profitable. You can go out there and find gaming guides on YouTube for games going back a decade, have millions of views that people still watch even still to this day. They are there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Evergreen monetary uh, income coming in from stuff like that. It gets a lot of traffic consistently over long periods of time. And so that is something that can be lucrative for Kotaku to move in that direction. But 50 per week, in my opinion, I think this is unsustainable for writers at Kotaku to do 50 in a week. And I have a theory that I think that they are either A, trying to just bankrupt the site completely and either get people to A, quit, or B, have them not be able to meet that expectation because it's way outside the norm to meet, and basically give them an excuse to fire everybody and basically get rid of Kotaku altogether. Those are just my opinions and thoughts on the matter. Who knows what's going to end up happening? But the saying rings true on this situation with the whole go woke, go broke. They've always been a woke gaming journalistic site, and now they are moving away from all that and wanting to start doing game guides. So, John, thoughts on all this? I want to get your thoughts first on this, since you are a writer. What are your thoughts on this whole Kotaku situation?
Yeah, so I've covered this. I covered this article over on thatparkplace.com as well, and kind of covered the same points. But the one thing that is interesting is the fact that all of this is being driven by Jen Glennon. It's all based on her resignation. We have not heard anything from the people at GO. So who knows if that directive is actually real. It does seem like we have seen some other writers make that claim as well, but they've since gone like privated. I think there was a guy named like Levi or something like that. I cited him, and he said that this was happening as well. So I'm still like suspect on whether or not this is actually what they're doing. I think it might also have to do with the blowback to their article on Sweet Baby Inc. and how much that article has just been absolutely destroyed here on X, on YouTube, etc. Pretty much destroying the entire. I mean, that site already had an awful reputation, anyways. But I feel like now that the reputation is even worse now, because there are just outright fallacies and lies in that. So I do think there might be something to do with that as well. Obviously, that's just kind of my opinion and speculation. As far as if we take it on face value and look at the game guide stuff, when I was at Bounding into Comics, running Bounding into Comics, that was one of the things that I really wanted to do more of. And I was trying to get some of our video game guys to do more of that stuff because they are extremely well read. People do read game guides, especially when you can get something out like right away. Like like I know we were doing some stuff with like the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet or whatever the most recent ones were. Can't remember off the top of my head. And those articles were doing extremely well for us, especially when people were playing it right away. So I do think there is a lot of value to those. I see that from the publisher side. Much more so than say movie reviews or TV show reviews or things like that, that are like specifically just kind of straight up reviews rather than maybe like a commentary with a review, even though it's the same thing, but you know, there's a little bit of a distinction there. But so I see that from the business side. I think that game guides can be extremely lucrative. I do think a lot of people still read them. I personally, I know a lot of people are like, oh, if you want a game guide, you just go to YouTube or whatever. Personally, a lot of the games that I play, especially a lot of the strategy games and things like that, it's all about builds and stuff and how you would build stuff. So you can do that on YouTube, but you got to find out where the person talks about it in their videos. You got to like basically double speed till they get to the part where maybe you want to see where they're kind of how they're setting, how they have their units set up or their gear and all that stuff. Whereas like I can just go on like Google and go to like Game 8 or something like that. That's got it pretty much their similar setup as well. So, and I can just read it while I'm playing at the same time, right? It's harder to like play a video game and watch a YouTube video at the same time. Whereas like I can like look at it and then make the changes like on the right away. But yeah, they have lots of like this site here.
Yes,
has a ton of guides and walkthroughs for like almost every game imaginable. They probably do
Game 8. This is one. Yeah, this is one I use a lot, and I've gotten a lot of stuff because I've been going through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I have watched some YouTube videos on some stuff to try to help me through the game. But this site right here literally has so much stuff, and I'm talking about detailed information on this game. And so, I mean, this is stuff that people will be visiting and checking out for years to come. Because I mean, remake came out over 4 years ago. Well, almost 4 years ago. This next month it'll be 4 years, and I still see people on YouTube that are doing first time playthroughs of this game. People that are just now picking up that game. People are still playing stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2, which came out on PS4. And there's tons of game guides and stuff on that. So, yeah, game guides is definitely something that you know, people are interested in, and I think they'd be more interested in than the woke journalistic gaming news that they typically do over there. But 50 game guides a week per.
So that's, I do think that is potentially possible. I obviously don't know what their how their writers perform normally, but that could be possible. That does seem like quite a lot. I feel like that is. Are we sure that it's per individual? That seems like maybe more of a team goal than an individual goal. I mean, I struggle to write 50 articles a week just by myself, and I feel like I put out a lot of articles on that Park Place every day. So 50 is quite a bit for a week, but it also depends on how they're defining a game guide, right? Because a game guide doesn't always have to be a whole game, right? One of the things that I was trying to do over at Bounding Into Comics when I was over there was, it's like, okay, well, this is something that I found difficult to figure out at this point in the game. Can we write an article about that to figure out what we need to do? Like, this is how you beat X monster or whatever. Or this is how you unlock this monster. So that could be something that they might consider a game guide, where it's just like one portion of the game. And that's just like, that was what I was inspired by on some of them. And I was like, man, I don't want to spend 20 minutes just running around a map trying to figure out something that's really easy, then I'm just being stupid. I can't figure it out. I mean, I do that, right? I spend 20 minutes like running around the map, like, what am I doing wrong here? And then you go and you look it up and it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah. So, but you get the click, right? There's someone there to explain it for you. So that could be what they might consider a game guide as well, where it might be just like helping you get around one specific portion in the game that like a number of people get stuck on or something like that. It's not just like an entire game guide like you might expect when we were playing back in like the 90s, right? Or the early 2000s, where it was like full magazines, and that was this like whole thing where even I think IGN had some of that stuff, or there was one website that would have like the full, like they would have full game guides, whereas
and
now,
strategy guides
yeah,
were big back in the day. I mean, I still have a ton of strategy guides from old games of mine.
right.
Do you think this is the beginning of the end of Kotaku, or do you think this is the beginning of new and reinvigorated Kotaku with a whole new, uh, focus on moving forward in the future?
I mean, obviously Glennon left, but she hadn't been there very long, right? I mean,
No,
second person to leave within like a year or whatever. I don't think the Alyssa Mercanti woman left. She actually was like, "I'm so glad that you stuck up for your integrity," but she didn't resign either. So what does that
yeah,
say, right?
yeah,
Um, so I don't know. I mean, time will tell as far as what happens. Obviously, I do think shows that the site is clearly having issues. And there's obviously a conflict between management and editorial. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's good news that your editor in chief is leaving after less than a year,
yeah.
um, and is claiming it's for some kind of because you're changing how you want to do content. But I mean, if they're doing less news, I think that's probably the best for the actual truth, because their magazine has a reputation for just being untruthful and spreading
Yep.
lies, as we saw with the Alyssa Mercanti Sweet Baby Inc. Article that she ran 2 weeks ago, where it
Yep.
completely omitted the fact that it was Sweet Baby Inc. that tried to cancel Cabrutus Rambo and
Mm.
launched an entire cancellation campaign against him.
Yeah, and it's funny how all this has now started to it all turned into this, after the whole Sweet Baby Inc. stuff. That was sort of like the start of this whole thing. And now, the parent company for Kotaku is now forcing them to stop doing game journalism. And I think the Sweet Baby Inc. thing played a big role in that.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I mean, the timing, I don't think is coincidental. I mean, 2 weeks after your editor in chief is leaving, so I mean, I don't know. It's too much of a coincidence for me to think that it did not play a role.
Yeah, I agree. Loki, thoughts on all this? I know you're a big gamer like me.
Oh, there we go. I don't know. I was muted. Sorry.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah. There was a bunch of background noise, so Mike muted you. He messaged you in the private chat
okay.
in the
Sorry.
background.
I'm,
That's
I'm,
all right.
I must have missed it. So let me get this straight. A gaming website, a website that is about gaming, is going to have to work on games instead of being political.
Pretty much.
So we know this from like, what was it, 10, 12 years ago, when some of these politically leaning journalists found their home in gaming. So this was a stepping stone. They'd go to Kotaku, they'd go to other places, and they'd use this as a stepping stone to get into political commentary. They've been doing this for over a decade.
Yeah,
This
long
this
time.
this is about time. It's about time. Go back to doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you want to cover games, talk about games. Instead of bad mouthing gamers, instead of bad mouthing the people that pay for the product, instead of saying these companies must get with the DEI and the ESG, and how
Yep.
dare you make your people work more than 40 hours a week. Go back to covering what you're actually supposed to be covering, and shut the hell up when it comes to politics and your inner BS. We don't need it. We just
Yep.
need stuff on games. If you want to talk about the development of games, talk about the development of games. If you want to talk about strategy guides, if you want to go more in depth than that, by all means. But this whole politicizing everything to promote your agenda and get your way, now the time's passed. Get over it, get out, and make way for people that actually want to encourage gaming instead of saying you're horrible.
Yeah, and the parent company, GNO Media, I guess, had enough of their woke news articles, and basically the site was getting trashed on all the time. So it's like they pulled the trigger and was like, "All right, enough all this. We're getting bad press left and right. Like we're stopping with all this political stuff. We're literally just going to start doing gaming guides now."
I think it's great.
They also just I think Geo Media was also the company that just shut down Jezebel, and now they've offloaded it after an investor came in and wanted to purchase it. So that's another kind of left-wing culture website as well.
Yep. So I don't know. Good on Geo Media for doing this. Loki, any other thoughts or comments you wanted to mention?
Just so unfair. It's so unfair that they have to actually work on video games now and reviewing video games. Can't just keep taking that sweet nectar of free products from the gaming industry just so they can shit all over the people that play it. It's so sad. So sad.
Yep. Mike, what's your thoughts on this now that you're not going to be hearing about how you're underrepresented in video games from Kotaku anymore? You're muted, Mike.
Sweet Taco Baby Inc. is now available to provide consulting services to Echo-based network at $1,000 per hour. And John, good news. If you sign up today for that park place and hire me for a minimum of 50 hours at $1,000 an hour, I'll kick in a free sombrero, John Trent.
I did hear that there is a position opened at the Pokemon company for $200,000 a year.
No, I don't. I'm a man, and I don't want anybody poking this man that I don't know where I'm going to be poked at ahead of time.
I thought you were all good with that with the MILFs. So. I thought you said they could poke you all over whenever they wanted
MILF
to.
joke is like, why did the chicken cross the road? To bang the MILF on the other side. No, you guys have said it all.
All right. Well, I didn't know if you wanted to comment or had anything else you wanted to add to this. No.
John's the black belt.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely wanted to get his thoughts on this for sure. Real quick, GraphWeb for $2. # cancel Disney Plus, the most consistent man on YouTube, and you can get your # cancel Disney Plus shirt on our merch store. Hail to you, GraphWeb. Thank you for your continued support. All right, let's go ahead and who's ready? Who wants to go next on their topic? You got yours ready, John, or Loki, or Mike?
No.
I'm ready. I can go.
All right, shoot, Mike.
No, I'll let Loki go. Loki, you get to go.
Okay. Let me share the screen real quick. Yeah, I know. I'm here on EBN, and I'm going to talk about what am I going to talk about? I bet you can guess. Who out there can guess what I'm going to talk
Video
about?
game.
Oh, looky there. Looky there.
What is
Star
that?
Wars. Or
this is the villain in the new Acolyte show, Mike.
Pretend Star Wars by name only.
This is the Acolyte, Mike. And she's wearing an outfit that is very similar to one Darth Revan. I'm sure you guys have no idea who that is, who Darth Revan is, or where he came from, or
Knights of the
what
Old
he
Republic.
did in the EU, in the old games. But this is all designed to elicit a response from people that love the old content. This was not done by accident. This is not a mistake. This is all been done to elicit a reaction. Why? Because all press is good press. It doesn't matter whether people are hating on it. It doesn't matter whether people are saying this is going to be a giant trash fire. None of that matters. All that matters is that it got your attention. And it did, because oh my God, it's the most downloaded Star Wars trailer ever for any of the stuff they've done
of all time. Like, it was, we were looking at it last night. I think it was like over 7 million, almost 7.5 million views. Only a little over 100,000 people actually hit the like button. So that's like what, like 2% of all those views actually hit the like button, and over double that people that hit the downvote. But this is going to be, thumbs down 360,000 times. But this is the biggest thing, and everybody's excited about it, right? that's the spin.
Now, why would you make her dress like that? Why would she even know? This is 100 something years before Darth Vader. Why would she dress like this? How would she even know?
Well,
that
I have an even more dumb question. I thought the Sith were gone for 1,000 years before. Wait, hold on.
they were?
Yeah,
They
yeah, it
were.
was
We're getting
1,000
there.
years.
We're getting there, Mikey. We're
Yeah.
getting there. I
All right,
promise.
because I'm like super confused. All right, I'll shut up. Keep going.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
It's just like
Okay.
the Obi-Wan series. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to why it exists.
Yeah.
So 2,000 years before this happened, a Jedi and his buddy Jedi, Revan and Malik, find this space station called the Star Forge, and it is literally powered by a sun. And that space station creates the outfit that Revan wears that is iconic with the mask as what he needs. It's a need. It's something he needed. It's something he made. Now, this space station was destroyed 2,000 years before this show ever happens. No one knows what Revan looked like. It's not in the Jedi. It's not in the Jedi archive. It's not in the holocrons. As a certain space librarian once said, if it is not in our records, it does not exist. So how would she know to dress like this? It's not a Sith thing. It's not something the Sith did. It's something one character wore, and it was created for him specifically. So why would she be dressing like this? It wasn't common 2,000 years ago. It wasn't common 100 years ago in the Republic. Where did the outfit come from? It doesn't. These people are stupid. Leslie Headland says that, oh, well, they encouraged me to look at the EU and to praise it and to say we're trying to follow Star Wars EU. No, she's a dumb bitch. This is all dumb. Star Wars is dumb. Everybody's going nuts about this. Oh my God, the Acolyte. These people are working to elicit a response from you, from John, from Mike, from Echo Base. This is what they want. They are going to throw this at you and then throw 9 kinds of different propaganda of why you're a racist, a bigot, and a foe because you ask questions. Don't ask questions. Just consume what you're given and love it. If you're asking questions, you're on the wrong side of history. If you're asking questions, you're a baddie, meanie man like Mexican Ironman.
Yeah.
You're a tortilla farmer if you ask any questions.
You're a racist tortilla farmer. Get it
That's
straight.
right.
It's almost like your parents when you were little, and they're like, "You're gonna eat that food and you're gonna like it." That's basically like Disney Star Wars right now. You're gonna watch this and consume it, and you're gonna like it.
That's right. Bosco says it was 5,000 years. Sorry, I said 2. It's 5,000 years.
Yeah.
A New Hope. There's no way she would have this outfit. There's no way she would look like this.
And there's tons of canon breaking going to be in this.
It doesn't matter what color her skin is. It doesn't matter that she's a chick. Her gender doesn't matter. Her skin color doesn't matter. Her hair doesn't matter. All that matters to them. Doesn't matter to anyone else. This is going to be a trash fire. If you look next to that, you've got mysterious Sith ninja. It's the same chick. There's no reason to have chainmail. That's another thing. They've got her wearing chainmail in this. That's not cortosis weave. That's not going to protect her from lightsabers. That's not anything but their dumb ass take on what they think she needs to be. And they copied this whole outfit from Revan and changed a little bit because they want space witches in their new Star Wars show. They want space witches and black ninjas. And oh my God, we'll make her a girl too. And it'll be so cool. It'll be so cool and neat. And the Jedi are going to be in such trouble. What? No, they just want a response from you. That's all they care about. That's all they're working on. Rant over. Guys, just let these people burn it to the ground. I've been saying this for over a year and a half now. Star Wars is dead. It didn't die yesterday. It didn't die a week ago when the trailer came out. It died years ago as soon as Disney bought it. It was not what it ever would be again. Even Lucas couldn't keep it straight. And I'm sure there's a million people that are so pissed off with him right now, but I've been saying that for years too. Even he couldn't keep his own shit straight. He had to go back and tinker with everything and screw with everything. And there are people that will be pissed off about that till the day they die. But he did it. Why? Because it doesn't belong to you. It's not going to last forever. I understand people change their religions. They change their whole ways of thinking. They decorated their house like the Millennium Falcon, but it's over. And it's not coming
All right,
back.
I think you should give me everything that belongs to Star Wars that's at your house. It's over, you said?
It's over.
Yeah, so I'm going to come by and pick up everything in about 2 weeks.
Okay, you can pay as long as you pay for it.
Oh, no, I'm not going to pay for it because I'm not a YouTuber and I need the public service. And I'm a minority, so you white people need to give stuff to me for free.
No, you can pay for it. I'll sell it to you. You want that? You want that $500 lightsaber? That Obi-Wan Kenobi special that's made out of like aircrafted
Star Wars
aluminum
is
shit.
dead, so it has no value. So I'll just take it off your hands.
Yeah, I'm still going to always love the original trilogy. I will still watch it. I will still love it. The old school Star Wars Kenner stuff, I'm always gonna love that stuff. But yeah, as far as Star Wars moving forward and anything new coming out, I'm in agreement. It's dead. I have zero hope for it whatsoever. And you know, that's just the world we live in. And now Echo Base Network is going to turn into Mike Tyson based network.
I saw those videos are doing well. I saw that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, Coach has been killing it on the videos, and the thing is, we talked about like, look, we're just going to do stuff that's interesting to us. Well, we might not get even 100 views on it, but we got to make this fun for us.
That is so awesome to hear. There's a little plug out of nowhere. Coach is going to be on YouTube Talk next Wednesday on my channel in the morning.
Oh, nice.
That's exactly what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
is the switch you guys made from just Star Wars content and how hard that was to do to a more global approach to. We're just going to talk about what we enjoy and have fun doing it.
Well, when I get to Houston, we're going to talk about how I don't want you to suffer by having Star Wars stuff in your house. So I'm going to unload it all into my rental car so that since Star Wars is dead, I can get all of those bad juju away from you and just pick it all up.
Rental car?
Yeah, I'm going to get a rental SUV.
I thought you had a taco truck.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. It depends how much stuff Loki has. I may need to rent a taco truck for the day.
And
when you see the Vader helmet,
you don't have one? I thought it was rabbit chicken taco.
Bro, look, at my level, I'm more CEO, John. I'm more providing. I'm like Bob Iger. I'm providing the strategery and I'm up here. I'm not actually in the plantation picking the tacos. You know what I mean? I got.
Well, you have access to the truck though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm on title, but I got Mexicans to drive that shit for me.
when you see the Darth Vader helmet, you'll lose your shit, since it's signed by everyone that played him before Kenobi happened.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, and like Loki, I'm still gonna. I mean, there's still some freaking badass Star Wars hot toys I want, like the speeder bike in the biker scout. Oh man, I want that so bad. So my love of old school Star Wars will always still be there, and of course, we'll still talk about it here on this channel because it's kind of always kind of been our bread and butter. But as far as us, me and Coach both, as far as us having hope for the future of Star Wars under Disney in the current regime at Lucasfilm, it's literally non-existent at this point.
I'm right there with you. I'll probably introduce my children to the original Star Wars trilogy, and that'll be it.
Yeah,
very similar. I think you guys did a video. I don't know, maybe a month ago, and it was just like when Star Wars was good, and it was just clips from the OT, and I was like,
oh yes. yeah. I remember. Yeah, that was a little compilation video Coach put together. But yeah, that was when it was good. Mike, John, thoughts on Acolyte stuff? I know, John, I know you're gonna hit on some of this Acolyte stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach is saying in the chat there, the Acolyte is going to be fun, and I think it is going to be fun because we're just going to be mocking and roasting it
Oh,
the
yeah.
entire time because it's just going to
Yeah.
be super cringe. And I mean, people are already doing it. I mean, look at the comments on the trailer.
The comments
they're
are hilarious.
paraphrasing that opening line. Close your eyes, tell us what
Yeah.
you see. It's like-
Bye.
and they're just making fun of that line over and over and over again. It's just hilarious what people are coming up with. It's more entertaining than the actual trailer. So we'll see. I mean, and the show is going to be chock full of modernism, liberalism talking points that we've seen from the Walt Disney Company over and over and over again over the past couple of years here. So this will probably be the most egregious example, I think, of it.
Well, you're supposed to see eye to eye with the plight of the villain, John. You're supposed to get in her skin and feel her sorrow. You're supposed to get in there and feel all that. Yeah.
I mean, it is interesting that that I think this is probably one of the first times we're seeing a Star Wars show where they're actually trying to show the villain as the main protagonist and make you relate to this evil person.
So
it's
weird.
Like, no thanks.
Weird. But Leslie Headland did say she wanted people involved that knew nothing about Star Wars, and so that's what we're going to get is a show with Star Wars in the title, but it is not going to be Star Wars or have anything to do with Star Wars. It's going to be a complete farce. Mike, thoughts on the Acolyte, just in general?
I'm not gonna watch it at all. Not even to review it. I've already informed everybody that whose live stream I'm supposed to be on that I ain't watching shit.
Yeah, and that's one thing Coach and I talked about last night.
Everybody, not you guys, not Doomcock, not nobody. I ain't watching this shit. You'd have to pay me to watch this shit, like cash hard money.
Yeah, we were talking about this last night. We encourage everybody out there to not watch this. Like let us watch it and review it and tell you guys about it. So don't waste your time.
I don't even have Disney Plus anymore. I mean, shit, I shut that shit off like Loki. When did I shut that off? Didn't I do it like before one of our live shows in the morning?
Yeah, you did.
Like I did it the Monday before, right, or something like.
Yeah, it
dude,
was right
before
a
year ago.
About a year ago, because we were gonna review something, and you were like, "Yeah, I don't have Disney Plus," and I was like, "Yeah, I need to watch Chrome."
Yeah,
I sent you to that one site.
I thought it was a big deal that when I took away access for my kid after they had that whacked out stuff that I saw on Disney Plus. When I finally talked to Max about it, my 11-year-old, he was 10 last year at the time. He's like, "Dad, I don't even watch anything there anyways. There's nothing to watch." And I was like,
"All right, cancel."
Yeah.
Wait, I already changed his password, but then I was like, ding.
Yeah, me and Coach are going to be going out onto the high seas of the internet to talk about these episodes. But we're going to have fun with it. We're literally going to laugh and mock it to oblivion.
I mean, kind of like we've been doing with Halo. Halo's it is such a garbage dump fire. That last episode is so bad. No containment teams, science. Oh, we're gonna experiment with mutagens and alien viruses, but we don't have like a containment set up or anything to, keep people from just going insane and killing people all over the planet. Oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. They're so dumb, and they expect you to be dumb.
I've not heard one good thing about that Halo show.
You think these people are playing 4D chess? They're just dumb. They're very dumb, and they expect you to be dumb. They don't expect you to question everything. And if you do, they have the perfect response. Just like Star Wars. You're a racist, a phobe, or a Yahtzee. A bigot. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I plan on documenting the show's demise, but I don't know if I'm going to watch any of it. I haven't decided one way or the other. If I do watch any of it, it'll probably just be clips to confirm what I'm reading or what someone has said about it, just to be make sure that that's the proper context or whatever.
Yeah, and for everybody out there, we will be reviewing the episodes on Patreon. So if you guys don't want to pay for Disney Plus, you come over to our Patreon page and see it over there. All right, John, you got yours ready to roll?
Yes.
All right, what do you got for us today?
I've got the Acolyte too. So reported on this, I feel like last year, back when I was still running Bounty into Comics. But there is this British actor, Oliver Thorne, who pretends that he's a woman. and was reported to be part of a British psyop. Thorne has now confirmed that he is indeed in a character on the Acolyte. So you might know who this person is. He runs a YouTube channel called Philosophy Tube.
I've
I
not
guess they're
heard
part
of
of a bread tube or something. It's like a left-wing communist style YouTube channel, I guess. But this is what he posted on X. Finally allowed to say this. I'm in Star Wars. The Acolyte is coming this June. I'll say more when the show drops. May the Force be with you. And then he posted this. Now that the Star Wars news is out, I can finally set the record straight. I'm not the first person pretending to be a woman in it. Some person named Morgana Ignis was, who just so happens to be my bestie and my co-star in our upcoming film, Dracula's Ex-Girlfriend. So I don't know. I assume that's him in this alien costume. I don't know if that's the Star Wars character that he's playing. But
Wow.
Wait,
So-
that's the same. Wait, that's the same person. I don't mean to interrupt. I'm wrapping that's the same person, and the person
So this person here is him.
that.
Wow.
And then
Okay.
he pretends to be a woman and is like this person here with the hat on now. So I think he's in the I think he's
Oh
in
my
the
God.
outfit.
John, I know what we should call episode 10. You ready?
What?
Star Wars, The Trans Awakens.
There you
Oh,
go.
yes, I love it.
So this person is like connected to the British government, was funded by like a agency that gets money from King Charles before he was the king. So this report from like the Gray Zone said that the Royal Institution, which is this I don't know, some money funneling group that gave money to this company called Valiant Projects that hired Thorne to basically run government propaganda during COVID-19 and try and like convince people that whatever they were telling people was the truth. And like their web, like the report specifically said they wanted to leverage Thorne, quote, to achieve a measurable cognitive shift in the target audience. And like, I mean, he appeared on Valnet's like opening the company's launch in February 2021 in this like vaccine disinformation video. It's right here that you can see. And then he also published a bunch of YouTube videos titled Ignorance and Censorship and Who's Afraid of the Experts, that the Gray Zone believes were part of this like PSYOP program that the British government was funding through this company called Valiant. So if this person is being used to spread propaganda back in 2021, whatever, one wonders what they are doing in the Acolyte show, if that is what they are doing as well, just for a different type of propaganda.
It's always the eyes, like they're about to eat your soul or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I find it highly unlikely that this is just a coincidence.
Yes, highly unlikely. I mean, I obviously we know that the Walt Disney Company has all of these programs in place. We saw it all with the Reimagine Tomorrow. We know that they're trying to do all of this stuff. We know they get massive amounts of money from the DEI funds that are also being used to they basically are getting government approval, and the government's pushing all this stuff too. So I mean, it's all connected.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you go out there and anybody who's gone out there and read anything on the Acolyte, everything they're talking about is like modernism political stuff, like with the terrorists and the organizations and fascism and all this stuff that's just like, why is this even in Star Wars? What is going on here? It's going to be a complete absolute joke. And if people don't see it, if there's people still on the fence with Disney Star Wars after you see this, I don't see how you're going to be able to stay on that fence after this show.
Yeah, I mean, but there's a report. I mean, actually, it's not even a report. I think that the actress confirmed it. The fact that the show was built around her. I forget her name right now. She played the little child in the Hunger Games, Rue. She's the main
Oh, yeah,
actress,
yeah.
the lead for the show. I'm totally blanking on her name right now for the Acolyte. But she confirmed that they like Leslie Headland literally wrote the entire show for her like 4 years ago, and it was clearly, I think, based off of her numerous racial and sexual identities
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
parrots around.
Yeah, because I remember her talking about that and how she wasn't interested in being in the show at all until she talked to Leslie Headland, and she basically convinced her to be a part of it because she said, "Hey, I wrote all this for you. You were who I have in mind. If you don't do this, like I don't know who else is going to be able to be able to do this role because I wrote it specifically just for you and all this and that," and basically wooed her into taking the part in the show.
Yes.
Oh,
But I mean,
Leslie
everything we've
Headland.
heard. I mean, we've heard from like you even have the line in the trailer, right? This isn't about good or this isn't about good or wrong. It's about power, all of that
Yeah.
stuff. We heard that from Charlie, I think is his name. I forget his last name, but he said that at Star Wars Celebration last year, where he's
Yep.
talking about like Star Wars isn't even about good or good or evil. It's like, what are you
Yep.
even talking about? Like, what are you what
Have you even seen
like? Have you
Star
watched
Wars?
Star Wars? Yeah, like.
Yeah.
And then you heard the other woman, I'm blanking on her name right now too. But she was basically saying it's all about like Star Wars has always been about the patriarchy, and it's about time we're finally getting our matriarchal energies and all of this stuff. And it's just like, okay, you're injecting feminism into the show. Got it. Thanks.
Yep. Absolutely. Mike, Loki, any thoughts or comments on this?
Again, episode 10, The Trans Awakens.
I was talking about the last night's stream, and I didn't know if Andy wanted me to mention his name and mention it or anything, but the Dylan Mulvaney action figure that Andy Masterson made with the freaking Transformers logo on the package and everything.
Was it a Decepticon logo?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It
Okay,
was
good. It wasn't an
freaking
Autobot.
yeah, it was freaking hilarious. And then the background on the card. What was in the background, Mike? It was like
Wasn't that the detachable penal area?
yes,
attachment?
yes, yeah. Man, it was freaking.
Not that I was looking. I don't want the fans of Echo Base Network to think I was. Just once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
All the matriarchal energy went into the new Moo Blue milk that Star Wars is coming out with. Yes, they are coming out with blue and green milk based on the stuff they had at Galaxy's Edge.
Is it the color of this alien? Is it real? Are we sure it's
Yep.
milk? Could it be this alien's excrements?
Maybe.
Why did it take him so long to come out with this? Didn't the movie come out like 12 years ago or some shit?
I don't know. All I know is Universal knocked it out of the park.
I said a
with
no
their,
word.
Universal knocked it out of the park with their Harry Potter drink.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Oh, the
Have you guys
butterbeer?
had that?
Butterbeer's nice.
Yeah, the butterbeer. That stuff is delicious.
Yeah, especially you get the frozen one.
Yeah, they had it right away. They had it right when the park came out.
Yep.
Hail to Daryl the Derelict, the Acolyte, a neutered Star Wars story. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on to.
Look, you guys can get it now.
Oh, that's freaking hilarious.
Yep. Yep. That's what I was saying.
It's retail. It's not even like a special in the park.
Yeah.
It's
a
retail now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Guys, do we have an affiliate code for Echo Base Network to get some sweet money out of this?
Man, we need to get one. I didn't even know anything about this. True move.
I can't believe that. I'd have brought that up.
How come? And guys,
how do I know about this and y'all don't?
Oh, I knew about it.
I've never heard of it. I knew nothing about this.
Well, I don't know. That's because Star Wars is dead to you. But anyways, how come? Yeah. Where's my Reva, guys? Where's Reva?
Inspired by Galaxy's Edge. It's not even inspired by George Lucas's original trilogy.
Well, on the blue one, you see Luke and Vader. On the green one, you see Luke sucking on green titty milk off the manatee alien from
Last Jedi. Yeah.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, moving on last and final topic of the day, Mexican Ironman. What do you got for us, brother?
Well, it has been an event. Let me share my screen. It has been what we would call an eventful. Hold on.
Week.
It's been an eventful week. Let me get off the milk thing for a second. The week started. It's been an eventful 3 days. It's setback for Disney board. Influential shareholder firm ISS backs Nelson Peltz in the proxy fight. ISS, which recommends how institutional shareholders should vote, says that Disney's failed succession processes are key to its recommendation. ISS is pretty huge. It's I know you guys have probably never heard of them, but they are pretty huge. And of course,
I was in ISS in high school, but that's the only ISS I know about.
No,
in school suspension.
Oh, in school suspension. No, this is not in school suspension. And of course, this dropped right after that Park Place and other news outlets reported that George Lucas backs the white slavers in the Walt Disney Company's proxy battle against Nelson Peltz. So we had this announcement that dropped Tuesday, like a thermonuclear warhead, which, by the way, I was alerted to by Jonas, and I do get credit. I'm giving myself credit, even though I'm not a YouTuber, that I was the first to broadcast it on the live show on Loki's channel, because Loki lets me talk about anything I want, even though Star Wars has been dead to him for 2 years now.
Indeed.
So this pretty much consumed the news day Tuesday. Then the news day started yesterday with this ISS announcement. But don't worry, everybody. You know why? Because Disney says that ISS made a bad call backing Nelson Peltz for the board. Don't worry, everybody. Nothing to see here. Yesterday, Bob let us know that. Don't worry, everybody. ISS made a bad decision. Don't listen to them. Even though, by the way, they provide advice to multi-billion-dollar hedge funds around the globe. Like, that's who ISS gives advice to. That's who their clients are. The largest investors and the largest investment funds and the largest hedge funds on planet Earth are the ones that listen to ISS. But Bob says, Loki, don't you listen to no ISS, Loki. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Nope, nothing to see there.
So that's why they pushed out George Lucas right before this. They knew this was happening.
I agree completely. They got wind of this thing was happening last week when the institutional investor buddies called them, and they're like, oh, yeah? ISS is going to come out? Well, we're going to go get George to make a statement because George is Star Wars and Star Wars is Disney. And, yeah, we're going to do that. And then this morning, in what's another day of just freaking fucking good news, Bob Iger and Disney get backing in the proxy battle from former CEO Michael Eisner.
What?
This just happened, not just 4 hours ago.
Okay, now you have my attention.
Backing Iger?
Now you have my attention. You got my interest.
Yeah, this just happened 2 hours and 28 minutes ago. Bob Iger and Disney get back in a proxy battle from former CEO Michael Eisner. This is hot off the press. You hear it here at Echo Base Network. Disney and its current CEO, Bob Iger, have secured the backing of Iger's one-time boss, former chairman and CEO, Michael Eisner.
It's over.
In a statement posted, hold on, Loki, we're getting there. I agree. In a statement posted to social media, Eisner did name Nelson Peltz, whose Triad Fund Management is mounting an offensive. But the longtime media exec wrote that bringing in somebody who doesn't have experience in the company and the industry to disrupt Bob and his eventual successor is playing not only with fire, but with earthquakes and hurricanes as well. Eisner recalled a similar...
It sounds like fun, though.
Eisner recalled a similar experiment in 1983, just prior to the start of his 2-decade run as CEO, when, quote, corporate raiders were trying to take over the company. Had that incursion been allowed, he continued, that would have ended the Disney company as we know it, for the studio, theme parks, and hotels were suggested to be sold off. Instead, once Eisner and top exec Frank Wells were installed to run the company, quote, a different story was written, one that was continued by Bob Iger and his executive team. Eisner said, lessons from 40 years ago should be applied to the situation today. The company is now in excellent hands, and Disney shareholders should vote for the Disney slate. By the way, that's the white slate.
Oh, my God.
A number of potent supporters, including Disney, family members George Lucas and Laureen Powell Jobs have backed Iger in the company's slate of board nominees. Peltz has not garnered nearly as much public affirmation, though this week Trent got a big win when proxy advisor ISS put its weight behind the activist bid. So, all right, let's go around the horn and get everybody's reaction to this. Woohoo!
Oh my gosh, it's like this is like the real life Acolyte going on here.
No, it's the
not
real
about
life Game of Thrones from HBO.
yeah. It's not about right or wrong. It's about power. It's not about them making money. It's about power. The people who are in charge are trying to hold on to their power and stay there. This is absolutely insane. I cannot believe Eisner is backing freaking Iger. And how anybody, I mean, has anybody looked at the stock prices over the last year to 2 years in the direction it's going? This makes no sense to me. John, thoughts?
This is probably a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I usually defer to Pro and Valiant Renegade and Mexican Ironman here on this stuff. But from what I understand, Iger and Eisner didn't get along. So this is pretty big news that he's actually coming out and supporting Iger. Do you know how many shares he has? Is this just kind of like a public statement, or is this actually him putting a significant amount of weight behind Iger's bid board?
Mike?
Say that again. Sorry, I was getting a text from a client. Say that again.
Yeah, I was just asking, like, is this just kind of like a public endorsement from Eisner, or is there actually any kind of like financial weight as how many shares does Eisner actually have?
Well, I don't know how many shares Eisner still has from back in the day. I'm sure he still got some. But it's more about the politics of the weight. I mean, this is a guy this is the guy. Eisner is known as the guy who brought Disney back from the dead. Loki, you know this.
Yes. Okay. So
Look,
this guy was the face of Disney.
To come back. It's not just about his votes. It's about his politics. And Loki, I'm sorry to keep going. Sorry.
This guy was the face of Disney. Everything you saw, this guy had his face on it. Every commercial, every show, he'd come out and do Wonderful World of Disney. He'd talk to you about Epcot Center. This was the guy that was like, you didn't know who anyone else was in Disney, but everyone knew who Michael Eisner was.
Yep.
So anytime he came out and said, we at Disney, we're going to do this, you did it. There was no ifs, there was no buts, there was no ands, and he didn't get along with Iger. They have two completely different styles. Eisner was very much the carrot, and Iger has been very much, I'll whack you over the head with this constantly with this stupid stick. Their styles are completely different. So as soon as Mike was like, yeah, Michael Eisner's come out, they're screwed. If they've got Eisner saying, know what, no, go with Iger, I can't see a lot of people standing up and arguing that. I can't. Yeah, this is them circling the wagons. This is him going, you know what? You were my buddy. You were my mentor. You were my boss. Back me up, please. And I'm sure that's exactly what Adega is exactly right. They're circling their wagons, and he went and he either has something on Eisner or he needed a favor and sold his little sweet baby ink butt to get him to promo him like that, because that's just, I never would see that coming in a million years. That's shocking.
That's shocking. As much as I was pissed off and shocked about the George Lucas announcement, this one I am 10 to 100 times more in shock.
Yeah, because he was all about family. This guy was all about family. This guy was all about, we are a family. We love the families that love us. Nuclear family for the win.
Remember Sunday night? Every Sunday I saw this guy when I was a little kid. Wonderful World of Disney.
All the time.
This is that guy.
Yep, he was the face of Disney, and it's crazy. It's like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. You got Eisner, who's butted heads and not been on the same page with the direction of the company with Iger. And then George Lucas, who Iger literally wrote in his book, talked about how pissed off he was because they basically
betrayed.
trashes story treatments, was betrayed by Iger, but they're backing this guy.
Lucas called them white slavers.
Yeah,
Well, Disney white slavers.
but like, why are these people backing it? It just doesn't make any sense. There's got to be something else going on behind the scenes that we just don't know
No,
about.
It's
no.
a greater
Why do
good.
you? This is so simple. Why do you guys? There's no conspiracy. There's no 3 or 4 or 5D chess. When people make a lot of money and they hang out with each other, they change. Unbelievably, there's a few people. There are very few people on the planet that like don't change their ethics and you know what? Here's an example. I know what we all want. I thought about this the other day. I think I don't know who I heard this from. Maybe it was Critical Drinker or somebody. I wish they were all like William Shatner. William Shatner's in his 90s. He's got tens of millions of dollars in the bank, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. He's no billionaire. But that guy, my TV dad, he's going out kicking with his integrity intact. He did not bend the knee. And all these motherfuckers are showing you that they bend the knee to Hollywood. George, wild ass hypocrite for a guy that says, let a statement go out about not being a rookie. He hated the institutional studios, and now he bends the knee to that.
Yes, he
Eisner
did.
is all about family values. So what is he doing? Bending the knee to the woke crap that's now has been put in place in Disney. And I am saying this: not only will my children not grow up with the enjoyment of the Disney things that I did, but now I know my grandchildren will probably not even have parks, let alone movies to enjoy, because with these kind of votes and these kind of people in charge, this company will die and burn to the ground. We will wake up sometime 10, 20, 30 years from now, and it will be just like that old, tired strip mall that's down the street in middle America that none of us go and shop at anymore for one reason or another, mostly because it's old and tired. Hope is gone.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, they showed it on the Acolyte poster is the perfect example of that. I mean, you saw what it is. It was like in a time of light, darkness rises. And it's like these people don't even know what they're doing. They've extinguished the new hope.
Yep, it's a sad, sad time we are living in. It's a freaking clown world. A freaking clown world.
I told you I had a good story to hit up at the end before we signed off.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that is insane. So, quick question, Mike. What do you see for Peltz with everything that's been going on? What do you see for him in the Trian Group moving forward?
The Disney just updated their website. Here, you want to see that?
Yeah.
Here, you're gonna love this. You go. Pre-register and submit a question now for the annual meeting. The annual meeting will be held virtually. Pre-register to attend and submit. So basically, now what they're doing is that they want you to create an account. Look at this. They want you to create an account, which is not just your email. You have to put your email address, your password, your name, and all that. And you got to put in your question through behind this wall.
So they know exactly.
So they want to know who's calling, what the question is, and here's the other thing. I guarantee you they're going to vet the emails and the names of the people that put in and see who, so that they can pre-select who's calling, what question, or whose question gets selected, what the question is, and prepare their answers. This is a company with something to hide. There's no transparency, and more importantly, no accountability between the management and retail shareholders like me.
Wow. So initially, before this, how would you submit a question?
You could get a QR code and get in the queue line. That's what I was trying to do. You can get a QR code and get in queue. And then if you made the round, if you would say what is your question, and then the operator would select you. But that's what happened last year. That's the way it was last year. I'm pissed because I could have done it last year and I didn't do it because I was so worried about covering it with Valiant.
So now
this year I tried to get a QR code. My broker told me there weren't any, and I was like, he told me like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't think anything of it. And then this morning, Jonas woke me up and told me about this thing that had been updated, and I was like, son of a beep,
wow,
these motherfuckers.
Wow, this is insane. They're definitely
trying to control the narrative for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a company with something to hide.
They don't want any
I'm
Gina
telling you.
Carano questions. They don't want any Nelson Peltz questions. They don't want any. They don't want Reedy Creek questions. I mean, there's lots of things that they do not want to talk about.
Yeah, it's all going to be a puff piece meeting, basically, where they control what is going on and what's happening. That is freaking hilarious. All right, guys. Loki, John, any final thoughts on all this before we wrap up?
No, I
Just
think
unbelievable.
Mike did a good job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike, absolutely wonderful. Mike, as always. Yeah, I didn't see Eisner coming. So.
No, me neither. Yep, great final topic. Hail to Mexican Iron Man. Also, hail to Todzilla, who's shown some love to Mexican Iron Man with the burritos and the tacos.
Love you more, Todzilla.
Hail Todzilla. Hail GraphWeb. Thank you guys so much for your support with your super chats. Thank you for being here today. And this super chat video is for you guys. All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it for episode 15 of the EBN cast. I want to thank Mexican Iron Man, John Trent, and my brother Stone Loki for being here. Thank you to all of you in the chat who have been here today. You guys can catch me and Coach in our panel every Thursday night at 7, and then every Friday afternoon, pre-FNT, Friday afternoons from 2 to 3 every Friday. So thank you guys. Mike, anything you want to promote, plug? Nothing. John, anything you want to promote or plug? Guys, links to all these guys' stuff is in the description. Definitely subscribe to all their channels and check out all their content. But John, anything you want to promote or throw out there that you got coming up?
Yeah, unlike Mexican Iron Man, I am a YouTuber. I have a YouTube channel, the Trent Report, as well as a racing channel, which is John F. Trent, where I cover a bunch of stock car, dirt racing, NASCAR, etc., throughout the United States. So a lot of fun over there, covering a lot of that stuff too. Completely separate from what's going on here over on the entertainment sphere, which is mainly what I do on the Trent Report. And then obviously that parkplace.com. If you haven't hit that bookmark, got new stories up pretty much every single day.
Yep, I got it bookmarked for sure. Loki, what do you got going on, brother? Anything coming up other than our soon-to-be review of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, hopefully here in the next week or so? I just got to chapter 13 in the 14-chapter game. Loki's not too far behind me, but I'm loving the game so far. So, what about you, Loki, and what do you got going on?
We got the late show coming up at 10 p.m. Central Standard Night tonight on my channel, and we've got Coach. Guys, if you want to hear about what Coach and Nick have been doing over the past couple of years and how they have made this shift from specific, and how hard that was to make that shift from specific Star Wars content over to a wider range of topics and what they enjoy, come hang out on YouTube Talk this Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on my channel, because that's what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday.
Yep. And you guys can find Loki every morning at 8 o'clock Central Time over on Loki's Mornings of Mischief. Great morning show. So definitely go check him out. Guys, thank you again for all your support. As we say here, we are, you are Echo Base Network. Until the next one, we'll see you guys later.